Ever feel like you know what a word means? Like you recognize it right away when you read it.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you actually try to, use it in a sentence yourself, it vanishes.
Oh, absolutely. That feeling is so common. It really highlights this gap, doesn't it, between passively understanding a word
Right.
and having it ready, like actively available when you need it.
Exactly. And that's what we're diving into today.
We're looking at practical strategies, ones backed by experts, to build a stronger and, really importantly, a more active vocabulary.
Yeah, the kind of words you can actually pull out and use confidently day to day.
So these words become real tools for you, not just things you vaguely recognize.
Okay, so where should we start? Flashcards seem like a classic.
They are. Many of us have used them, maybe back in school, but there's a way to use them that's, much more effective for really learning vocabulary long term.
Not just cramming for a test.
Precisely. It's not just about drilling. Making good flashcards is key. It's more than just the word on one side and a dictionary definition on the other.
Okay, so what makes a flashcard effective then?
Well, you definitely want the word on one side. And on the other, yes, a concise definition. But, and this is crucial, you need a natural example sentence.
The context part.
Exactly. That sentence shows how the word actually works.
Like if you're learning eccentric instead of just unusual.
Right.
You might write, she's known for her eccentric style of dressing. You instantly get a better feel for it.
You do. It's not abstract anymore. And that context, it actually helps your brain link the new word to existing ideas, making it sort of stickier.
Stickier, I like that. What about pictures?
Yeah, adding a simple visual cue on the definition side can be really powerful too. It creates another pathway for memory.
What kind works best, you think? Something personal?
Often, yeah. Something that clicks with your understanding of the word or the example. Maybe a quirky hat for eccentric, like you said.
Okay, so we've got the supercard. Now, do we just flip through them?
No, that's where active recall comes in. It's absolutely essential. Meaning, when you look at the word, you have to really try to remember the definition and the sentence before you flip the card over.
Force your brain to retrieve it.
Yes. Say the word out loud. Try to make up your own sentence using it right then. That active effort is miles better than just passively reading.
It's like a mini workout for that word in your brain, isn't it?
It really is.
Okay, so active recall. How often should we be doing this workout?
Good question. That brings us to review. Don't just learn it once and assume it's locked in. You need scheduled review times.
And that's where spaced repetition fits in.
Exactly. Spaced repetition. You review the words you're struggling with more often.
Right.
And the ones you know better, less often, gradually increasing the time between reviews.
So it's efficient. Your brain reinforces the memory just as it's starting to fade.
Precisely. It's a very effective way to learn long term. And, mix things up. Shuffle the cards.
Don't just learn the order.
Definitely not. And consider using both physical cards and maybe some digital apps. Lots of apps have spaced repetition built right in, which is handy.
Takes the scheduling work out of it.
It can, yeah. And ultimately, the real goal is
using the words.
Using the words. Actively try to weave them into your conversations you're writing. That's how you truly move a word from passive understanding to active use.
Might feel a bit clunky at first, I imagine.
It might. But that practice is what makes it stick. It bridges that gap we talked about.
Okay, so that's the right way. What are the common traps, the pitfalls people fall into with flashcards?
Well, the biggest one is probably just passive reading, like you said. Just flipping and reading without trying to recall first.
Just glazing over them.
Yeah. And review timing is another big one. Irregular cramming sessions, not great.
Doesn't stick.
Doesn't stick. Frequent space sessions are much, much better. And trying to learn like 100 words at once.
Overwhelming.
Totally. Keep the cards themselves concise too. Too much info on one card just clutters things up.
Right. Stick to the core stuff. You mentioned testing recall. Are there different ways to do that?
Yes. Definitely test yourself both ways. Look at the word, try to remember the meaning and sentence.
Okay.
But also look at the definition or the example sentence and try to recall the word.
So you practice both recognizing it and actually producing it.
Exactly. Strengthens the connection from both directions. And remember, go beyond simple, like one-word translations if you're learning another language, or even just synonyms. Context is king.
The example sentence again.
Right. And when you make the card, don't just copy-paste. Put the definition in your own words. Simplify it. That processing helps you learn.
Makes sense. Own the definition. What about those images again? Where do they go?
Good point. Put the image on the definition side, not the word side.
Why is that?
You don't want to just memorize picture equals word. You want the image to help you recall the concept, the meaning.
Got it. So the image supports the meaning. It doesn't become a direct cue for the word itself.
Exactly. Also, when you're testing yourself, be specific. A vague feeling you kind of know it isn't enough. Aim for precision.
Okay. And learn in small batches.
Yes, small chunks, reviewed often. Much better than huge, infrequent sessions. And finally, really engage with the words. Think about them. Synonyms, antonyms, other ways you could use them.
Don't just memorize, understand, and connect.
That's the goal.
So flashcards, done right, are definitely a powerful tool.
Hmm.
But they're not the only tool, right? What else should be in our vocabulary building toolkit?
Oh, definitely not the only tool. Perhaps the most fundamental thing is just reading, widely and consistently.
Makes sense. Exposure.
Huge amounts of exposure. Books, articles, websites, different genres. You see words used naturally in all sorts of contexts.
Yeah.
That really helps solidify meaning and nuance. Just building a regular reading habit is key.
Even just 15, 20 minutes a day.
Absolutely. Consistency matters more than volume sometimes. And another great strategy is keeping a vocabulary journal or notebook.
Okay, tell me more.
When you find a new word you want to learn, jot it down. Write the definition, maybe a synonym or two, the sentence you found it in.
Capture the original context.
Yes. And then maybe add your own sentence using it, or a little note about why it interested you.
Like a personal dictionary you build over time?
Exactly.
Cool.
And then, crucially, review it regularly.
Reinforces the learning.
Another, maybe slightly more technical approach is understanding word parts, roots, prefixes, suffixes.
Oh, like learning that bene means good.
Precisely.
Yeah.
So if you see benevolent or beneficial, you've got a head start on the meaning, even if you've never seen that specific word before. It helps you decode new words.
That's quite powerful, actually. A bit like having a key.
It really is. And as we keep saying, active use.
Can't emphasize that enough, can we?
Nope. You have to consciously try to use the new words. Speak them. Write them. Even if it feels a bit forced at first. That's how they become truly yours.
That's where the learning really gets cemented.
It is. And, leverage technology. There's some fantastic vocabulary apps out there now.
Many with games and quizzes, too.
Yeah, and often with that spaced repetition built in. Makes it interactive, maybe more fun for some people.
What about just soaking it in? Immersion.
Absolutely vital. Watch movies, TV shows, listen to podcasts. In English, obviously. Pay attention to how people actually use words.
You hear the rhythm and the context naturally.
You do. Pause, look up words you don't know, try to notice them again later, and make it fun. Word games, crossword puzzles, quizzes. They all help reinforce vocabulary in a low-pressure way.
I definitely feel a little win when I get a word in a crossword that I recently learned.
It's great reinforcement. And use your tools. A good dictionary isn't just for definitions. Look at the example sentences. A thesaurus helps you explore related words, synonyms, nuances.
Broadens your options.
Exactly. And one last thing, consider learning with others.
Like a study group.
Yeah, or a language club, or even just a friend. Practicing together, explaining words to each other, that really solidifies your own understanding. Teaching is a great way to learn.
So it really sounds like a mix is best. Focused study, like flashcards, combined with broad exposure through reading and listening, and then that crucial active use.
That's exactly it. You're creating this rich environment where words can take root, and you're actively tending to them in different ways.
This has been really insightful. It definitely reframes vocabulary building. It's not just about, memorizing lists.
No, not at all. It's about building a bigger, better toolkit. Tools to understand the world with more clarity.
And to express yourself more precisely and effectively.
Exactly. More tools mean more power in communication.
So a final thought for everyone listening. As you go about your day today, maybe pick one new word you've encountered recently or one you want to master. What word are you going to make a conscious effort to actually use?
Yeah, that's a great little challenge. A small action that builds over time.
It really can. Well, if you found this deep dive helpful, maybe share it with someone else who's looking to boost their vocabulary, and definitely stay tuned for more explorations.